What's up, guys? D-Rock1992 here. For this next video and for the next actor that I'm going to be talking about in my About series for this video, I am going to talk about a guy who's had a whole range of roles, has had a lot of roles throughout his career. He is known for taking a lot of roles, and he's often been criticized, lately at least, for the roles he has taken, which have been pretty bad roles to take. But nevertheless, this guy is probably one of the more versatile actors of Hollywood right now going. He's been in the movie business for a long time. The guy I'm talking about is Nicolas Cage. Oh, and he so happens to star in two of my favorite action movies of all time, of the 1990s, which I will talk about as I go through his filmography. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. Excuse me. 1981, his film debut was in a movie called Best of Times. It was a television film. The year after that, he made his motion picture debut outside of television in actually a pretty good movie for the time, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He had a very small role in the movie, very small, but nevertheless, he had a role in the movie. Valley Girl in 1983 was another somewhat popular one. Excuse me. He had a whole variety of roles in the 80s. He got a lot of work in the 1980s, for sure. Let's see here. He starred in a 1986 movie called Peggy Sue Got Married, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Raising Arizona came in 1987, a popular film for him for the 80s. Honeymoon in Vegas came in 1992. He starred in this movie with Sarah Jessica Parker, best known as Sex and the City, the HBO show. But Honeymoon in Vegas, another one, in 1992, and one of his well-known films, among his many film roles. And then, not really anything big to me. 1995, however, he stars in Leaving Las Vegas, and what's significant about this movie is that he gets the Academy Award for Best Actor for his performance in the movie. And I believe it is the only Academy Award thus far that he's received. But yeah, Leaving Las Vegas, a popular role for him. But then he gets into his action-type roles. And let me tell you, the two movies I'm going to be talking about next are two of my favorite action movies of all time. 1996 is The Rock, first off. It is my favorite of... it's one of my favorite action movies of the 90s, if not my favorite. This is a really good film. It's him. Cage is a scientist. He teams up with a former Alcatraz prisoner, Sean Connery's, played by Sean Connery. Cage and Connery have great chemistry in this movie, and they have to work together to stop a hostage situation at Alcatraz and to stop a diabolical plan from happening where a lot of people would die. The Rock is an excellent movie. It really is. The next year, 97, he comes out with a couple of his most recognizable films. Con Air, which is another one of my favorites from the 90s in terms of action movie. Con Air is where his character is a man who is charged with the death of a person whom he fought with to protect his wife, basically. And he's in prison, and actually he's in the air, Con Air. He's in the air, waiting to be transferred, or going to be transferred, and a lot of the other prisoners, they come out and they take over the plane. So it's a hostage. So it's a plane. It's a hostage situation. It's Con Air, and it really is an excellent movie. Also in the movie, John Malkovich plays the villain. Very good villain. Very good villainous portrayal. Very creepy villainous portrayal. Steve Buscemi is in the movie as well, and John Cusack. But the one thing about it, though, that Nicolas Cage just, that try as he may, he just couldn't really do it. He has one of the worst Southern accents I have ever seen out of an actor. He really has a terrible Southern accent, but that's what makes the movie funny. That's what makes the movie funny more than anything, is the fact that he just can't do a very good Southern accent. So it's funny in that aspect, and it's funny in some other aspects, but the action is really good. Another movie I'd recommend. I like The Rock better than Con Air, but Con Air is not very far behind. Also in 97, he comes out with the movie Face Off, which I have watched, and I thought it was a good movie. I actually reviewed it on this channel. On my channel. It is Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. They switch personalities, basically. They switch bodies. Essentially, that's kind of what it's all about. If you want a more definitive description of this movie, check out my past video. It'll be on my channel. The review I did of Face Off. As he entered the millennium, he stars in a pretty good movie. 2000, he stars in Gone in 60 Seconds. This movie is definitely one of his well-known ones. He has to, in the span of an hour or something like that, his character has to steal 60 or so cars, 50 cars, something like that. And it's definitely a good movie. It's a good action movie with him. Angelina Jolie is in the movie. Giovanni Ribisi. Another good Nicolas Cage movie, although not to the level that Con Air and The Rock were. Let's see. 2004, one of his most famous current movies. One of his most famous movies in the 2000s came out, National Treasure. There actually were two National Treasure movies, National Treasure in 2004, and then National Treasure Book of Secrets in 2007. In National Treasure, they have to find the secret that's connected to the Declaration of Independence. So what does Nicolas Cage and his characters do in some of his co-characters do? They steal the Declaration of Independence. In National Treasure Book of Secrets, they kidnap the president, and they find out that there's a secret. There's a book that contains secrets about the presidency, about Booth, and I think John Wilkes Booth and his assassination, of course, of Abraham Lincoln, something along those lines. The movies themselves didn't get the greatest critical reviews ever, but they're nice family-type movies. You could watch them with a family, definitely. But National Treasure and National Treasure Book of Secrets, also in the movie, Justin Bartha. Many may know him as in the Hangover series. Who's the lady there? Diane Kruger. She's another person in the movie. John Boyd. older actor. And, those movies are definitely good. 2007, he comes out with Ghost Rider. Or actually, 2006, first off. He stars in a remake of a horror movie, The Wicker Man. And I mention this movie because it really got bad reviews. And it was viewed more as a comedy rather than a horror film, kind of. A delightfully bad movie, basically, is what it kind of was. But this movie, one of Nicolas Cage's bad choices in movies, didn't work out very well for him. 2007, he comes out with Ghost Rider. And he has two movies in the Ghost Rider series, 2007's Ghost Rider and 2012's Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Needless to say, both the movies didn't do very well. He basically is an anti-hero in the Ghost Rider movies. At night, he masquerades as a ghost, as a skeleton, a ghost, a skeleton's head, something like that. Either way, he's an anti-hero in the movie. But, it is, I like the first Ghost Rider movie. I never did see the second one. But I did like Ghost Rider, the first Ghost Rider. Excuse me. Then, let me see. 2010, he comes out with, he has a supporting role in the movie Kick-Ass. He does not come back for Kick-Ass 2, but he does have a role in Kick-Ass, and I think he plays the villain, if I'm not mistaken, in the movie. I've never seen Kick-Ass. I want to do it, but, or I guess he wasn't the villain, from reading the little bit of the synopsis, but yeah, Kick-Ass, a popular movie, definitely back in 2010. Then the second one came out, but Nicolas Cage didn't appear in that one. Excuse me. Let's see here. 2013, he stars in the movie The Croods, animated movie, pretty well known among animated film fans, definitely. Among kids, definitely, most likely, but he has a starring role in The Croods, and it's a very good type of film. 2013, also, he comes out with the movie Joe, which got great reviews. It was a kind of an independent type film. Left Behind in 2014 as well, came out in 2014. It got very bad reviews. From last year, it got very bad reviews. But, so yeah, another one of Nicolas Cage's not so great decisions in a movie. There's a couple of them, definitely, that, there's a couple of them that definitely weren't. There's a few roles in the 2000s, especially in the 2000s, that he didn't have the greatest of. He didn't pick the greatest of roles, And there's kind of a reason why. Actually, he lost a lot of money recently. Actually, in the 2000s, at some point, he lost a lot of money. So he kind of had to get a paycheck. He had to go paycheck to paycheck. So therefore, he starred in a lot of movies. And that's kind of why his decisions for movies haven't always been the greatest. He's just wanted to get right in there and get the paycheck. Saying that, he has a few movies coming out. He has 3 movies in particular that I see here that are going to be coming out very soon. 2015, he has a movie called The Runner, that's due out in 2015. It's a political thriller film, and here's the synopsis for it. In the aftermath of the 2010 BP oil spill, an idealistic but flawed politician, played by Nicolas Cage, is forced to confront his dysfunctional life after his career is destroyed in a sex scandal. It looks very interesting, for sure. Then also, a movie called Pay the Ghost is set to come out 2015 at some point. There's no synopsis on that yet, but he is the main guy. He's the only guy you really would know about in this movie. And then the movie Snowden, which is coming out this year. It actually does have a date, December 25th of 2015. They don't have a role for him yet, but the synopsis for this is Edward Snowden, an American computer professional, leaked classified information from the NSA to the mainstream media starting in June 2013. They're going to have Joseph Gordon-Levitt play Edward Snowden, who's a very good up-and-coming actor, for sure. Shailene Woodley from the Divergent series is going to be in the movie. Tom Wilkinson's going to be in the movie, and Nicolas Cage in a supporting role. So look for that on Christmas, at Christmas, December 25th. And that's it. I don't think there's any TV appearances really to talk about here. I mean, I don't think he ever appeared on Saturday Night Live, and I didn't see when I looked down at his filmography, I didn't see a list of TV appearances at all. So I don't think he really has been in TV. But needless to say, this guy's been in a lot of movies. He's got to have about 100 now, or if more than that. You know, if he's got to have about 100 or so now. It doesn't say here, but yeah, the guy just continues to act. He is, when you put him in the right role, he can shine. He's a good actor, definitely. When you put him in the bad role, however, chances are the movie's not going to be very good, and you kind of laugh at him in some ways for his choice of film and the way, the way he portrays characters, even though he didn't mean to portray them that way. The Wicker Man actually is an example of that. It was supposed to be a horror film, but it turned out to be more of a comedy. But either way, I mean, regardless of all that, he continues to act, and he's had a lot of success in his career. He's a very good actor when you put him in the right role, when you put him in the right movie. He really is. And that's it for my video on Nicolas Cage. D-Rock 1992 out.